Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone of all and Shalom to the brothers doing the work of sharing truth. This article on comes from the Washington Post. It's kind of showing that this place is on its way out, man. It's dumb been on its way out. Like, as far as the general populace, really the middle class, them guys have been toast, man, for the longest, and it's been delayed just because there's it's not really kicked in because of things like furlough scheme and other things, government assistance, and they've been covering like delays on rent, all kinds of shit. So it's kind of lagged, so the impact don't kick in all at once. But it's starting to kick in, man. And it's even like here in the UK with the like furlough scheme ending, and stuff's meant to be opening back up by like what, June. But it's a mess. This place is done, man. So it says the wave of COVID bankruptcies has begun. A new Albany, Ohio music school offering piano, guitar, and violin lessons racked up under nearly $1 million in loans and 35 grand in credit card debt. A fine dining restaurant in Providence, Rhode Island, received more than 450 grand in federal small business funds to help pay workers, but still had to close its doors. A non-profit overseeing the Kit Carson Home and Museum in Taos, New Mexico, I guess, welcomes visitors to learn about the famous frontiersman, but listed just $17,000 in assets, even after every bone-handled knife, buffalo hide apron, and flintlock muster had been tallied. Nearly a year since the sea-related shutdowns began affecting large swaths of the American economy, more businesses are filing for bankruptcy as Chapter 11 filings were up. Oh, we're filing for bankruptcy as Chapter 11 filings were up nearly 20% in 2020 compared with the previous year, court records show. They are on a subset of businesses shows those registered as corporations show that some sectors are faring much worse than others, with restaurants, retailers, entertainment companies, real estate firms, and oil and gas ventures filing for protection in far greater numbers than in previous years. So yeah, it's kicking in, and that's the thing is this is only so far, because you go down, they'll say that as well, because there's still a lot of protections, and this is focusing on the States. But I know the UK is the same, man. It's man. When I can't remember where I was walking around. I can't even remember where. But it's like every part of London I've been to, there's been way more shut down shops than going back to when lockdown started. A bunch of businesses are just gone. They ain't even come back. There was a few places that were preparing. This is fucked. They were preparing to open in like April or May or whatever. There was one place, I remember this. I saw them from 2019 December or November. They had like the wooden front, like the kind of front where it's when people are doing like preparing to shop inside, and it had like, oh, we're gonna open soon, blah blah blah, and that thing has been up for over a year. Them man just gave up. The shop that's next to them, that place has shut down completely. It was a coffee place. That place was a coffee place that was going to open. The place next to it was a coffee place already. It was right next to a station. So even if they're right next to each other, they're all still going to make profit. Well, they would have previously, because of how busy it is next to the station. But what that new place hasn't opened in over a year. Well, yeah, over a year, because what, February now, and the place next to them, they didn't even reopen. I think they closed like February times when it started getting quiet, when everyone was like, "Oh shit, I want to leave my house." Then what the fuck is it called? Um, they ain't even open since, man. And it's hella other places. Some of them are just straight boarded up. They've sold. A lot of places they just have had like closing down sales. Some of them reopened for like last summer. They lasted till the summer. Then afterwards, they were just like, "Nah, it's done." And it's been a wash. And a lot of places have just been a wash. It's only really big chains that I've seen sticking around, like the really big like national chains. They're all over England. Even a lot of those ain't even make it. A lot of the bigger ones, like department stores and shit. I don't even know how John Lewis and Partners are still up, still alive and kicking, man. Them man closed. Them man were bankrupt before lockdown even started. They got sold. That's probably the only reason why is they only recently bought it. So they're like, it's not a viable thing to sell. But it's done, man. You know, the dream's over. So it says, bankruptcies filed by entertainment companies in 2020 nearly quadrupled, and filings, yeah, because all that bread and circuses, that whole industry died. Ain't no one going out. It's like even in England, well, I'll say in London. In London, they have shitloads of theatres, man. I remember I used to work near a theatre, one in Victoria. Um, I could not even tell you the name, but they were running what the fuck is this called? The fucking rap. It's named. I need to look this one up. So what the hell is his name? Hamilton. Hamilton. That's it. Come back to me. Hamilton. So yeah, they were running Hamilton. I remember like the summer I was working there. I think it was 2018, or maybe it was 2017. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was like that whole summer. Some of the actors used to come to where I worked, and they told me like it's packed. Like ticket sales were sold like a year in advance. There was only like they did a raffle every night for a chance. You'd have a chance to get in like for maybe a few tickets, like maybe I don't know, less than 20, 30 seats. But that shit was popping, man. Them man were making a killing. They were running non-stop, and everyone was on it. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, Hamilton!" Blah. People were trying to get in. Everyone I talked to was like, "Oh yeah, we booked our tickets like over a year ago." It's like, god damn, that shit. They're all done, man. All them theaters have been toast. I remember they tried to do like online theater. That shit was it was dead, man. It's like the theater experience is that it's for for those guys that are well off, or they're trying to be like they're well off, for them to go and and enjoy a more sophisticated form of entertainment. That shit's done, man. Because a lot of them a lot of them are like what they call them grade 2 listed buildings, where they're basically historical sites, like what's Shakespeare's one called, the Globe, that one on the Thames, and even the one I was talking about in Victoria. There's a couple of them in Victoria. There's the one they were showing Wicked. Surprise, surprise, that one's closed as well, man. So it's it's done, man. It's a wrap. So it says filings nearly tripled for oil and gas companies, doubled for computer and software companies, and were up. Kind of mad that oil and gas companies were filing as well. I wonder what. I wonder what leads into that. But okay, it said. Okay, says it doubled for computer and software companies and were up 50% or more for restaurant owners, real estate companies, and retailers compared with 2019 data from the research research firm Show. There were 5,236 Chapter 11 filings in 2019, but 6,917 last year, a tally at least 30% higher than any of the previous 4 years. Yeah, so that's gonna go up as well. That's gonna. I don't know. Like it's gonna go up as well this year. It says a tally at least 30% higher than any of the previous 4 years. Economists are predicting Um. So yeah, yes, it's gonna go up. So it says what economists are predicting strong economic growth this year overall, but the bankruptcy data shows that despite 3.7, yeah, the thing is you're gonna have economic growth, but it's gonna be those big super companies like Amazon, the guys that have already been making money, man, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, these super big, you know, uh, overreaching New World Order companies. These ones are gonna be running, man. Elon Musk, all his shit, they're gonna be increasing in profit. But what all the the middle class, the lower class, they're gonna be done, man. A lot of the high street stuff is gonna be a wrap. Cause and even with they're saying like, oh, the economy is gonna they're expecting the economy to grow. That's artificial, man. It's inflated because they're pumping in trillion. Well, it says what even there it says but the bankruptcy data shows that despite 3.7 trillion in federal stimulus spending to combat the recession triggered by the pandemic and another 1.9 trillion being proposed, so man are adding an extra 1.9 trillion. Man are looking to hit 30 trillion before summer. 30 trillion US national debt, man. So this is what business being proposed by President Biden. Businesses in certain industries have become particularly vulnerable and may take years to recover enough to pay their bills. Others will not recover. Oh yeah, it's even recovering to the point of where you can pay your bills. Oh, like these, this man are done, man. A lot of them, like even if they might have had to not pay rent for a few months, they ain't, where's the money? They ain't been able to make money to even pay the rent, man. And I remember there was a video of the guy that kept one of his stores open, and he was meant to be following the rules or whatever, and then he still came and got fined. It was just like, look, man, how am I gonna pay my rent? People are like, oh, nah, those are the guys that are getting, cut out. Because McDonald's ain't gonna have no problem staying open, man. That filth. It says other sectors have so far not fared as badly as one might expect, as only 77 hotel and gaming companies filed for protection in 2020, down from 92 in 2019, a year when the tourism industry thrived. Yeah, I think people still were traveling and still got to do a hell of a lot more traveling. I think it was more over Christmas when all the the talk of the variants came. That's when they what do you call it? That's when fucking hell. That's when that's when they kind of started locking down. Because I know the UK one they locked down from that, and then they just kind of locked it down in general because they knew it already flown the court. So it was already out there. So it says, because bankruptcy filings lag other signals of economic distress, experts say the worst was maybe yet to come. Bankruptcies stemming from the 2007 financial crisis didn't peak until 2010. So yeah, it's it's peak, and it's only gonna get worse. That's why it's when you look at the prophecies, these things are only gonna increase. When you deal with Matthew 24, it says, it's going to be wars and rumors of wars. All that. It says what? These are the beginning of sorrows. That's just, it's a start. Civil unrest, all that. These things are just, it's only going to progress and worsen, man. And Esau, like it says in Revelation 12 and 12, the Esau is going to come down with great wrath. Why? Because if he has a short time. Because now it's clear, hey, Yahweh Shai is on the cusp of making his return. He's going to try and get everything in before it's too late. Bankruptcies don't cause damage to the economy, said Ed Flynn, consultant to the American Bankruptcy Institute. The damage has already been occurred when the bankruptcy is filed. Higher bankruptcies is more of a symptom of economic harm than a cause. Yeah. Because, hey man, it's a wrap, man. It's toast. This place is out. Revelation. Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light of the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of grinding is low, and it shall rise up at the voice of a bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Yeah, you know that grinding is cease. It's places, it's toast, it's done, and that's been evident from when they did the first lockdown. People were dropping like flies, left, right, and center, and then what? It's only really been artificially sustained, man. And even a lot of that money that Trump made deals for, that really only went to bigger companies, man. A lot of it went to like airlines and shit like that weren't even flying people. It's basically, those aspects of that they still want around. When a new world order kicks in, them guys are being sustained. But the more independent side, the middle class, all their businesses, they're being done away with, man. They're being washed out, and that's what you've seen. You said what the doors of music will be brought low. All that entertainment, all them what they call festivals, music concerts. That shit's all been done, and people are expecting it to come back. And even if it does, for a season, the spirit's completely shifted, man. Let me get this as well. James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Yeah, so it's really those elites. These are the ones that have actual wealth heaped to themselves, man. These men are the whole economy, as you've got it running afterwards, it's based on that fiat currency. It's based on that pretend money, that made up stuff, and that's what everyone's invested in. That's why it can just be played with, where your business will be absolutely, because when you deal with the economy throughout the Trump presidency, let's say, it's the economy's just been up and up, man. Year on year, it was just like, all time high. Because this thing is completely played with, man. But what the actual riches, the actual wealth, land, precious gems, all these things are held by the elites, man. And these guys, like it says, they've heaped treasure together for the last days, man. These guys are holding it for it to be snatched by Israel, man. Because you go to what Isaiah 20, it says the forces of the Gentiles, man. It's all gonna be heaped onto us, man. I'll leave it there. But yeah, it's okay. I can read it. So verse 4. Behold, the hire of the labourers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. You have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and before long, have long patience for it, until we receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Yeah, so this, all this, all this greed Esau's got, man. All this resources, all this land, all this power he's been amassing, and is able to he's been able to maximize these things. Or he's gonna pay it back, man. Because like now his entire system is crashing, and this guy is looking to switch from this into that whole digitized mark-based currency, man, with revolving around the RFID chip, man. You know, the electronic monetary way of managing money, man. But what all these things are gonna come to naught, man. It's gonna get instated, but like it says in was a job when he's about to fill his belly, will rain the furious wrath upon him, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yeah, Bashem Yashai, Bashem Kakadash Bakadash, Shalom.